Birdemic. Birdemic. Birdemic? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Some love it for its raw, untapped, and unaltered passion and drive that a single man put into making this work a fiction. Others love to shit on it for being one of the worst films ever made. Either way, we're here to break it down from you. Hi, I'm Greg Chamberlain from Slacker, and this is our breakdown of Birdemic. James Nguyen is the director of Birdemic. He first came to America at the end of the Vietnam War. He has received no formal training in film, although he considers himself a student of the Hitchcock Film School, where I guess the curriculum is to just sit on your couch and watch Hitchcock's films. James has also cited that Hitchcock's The Birds was one of Birdemic's bigger influences. Because, you know, these two cinematic masterpieces are identical. They say imitation is the highest form of flattery, but I don't know if that's the case here. James bought his first camera in 1999, where he proceeded to create his first low-budget romantic comedy film, Julie and Jack, released in 2003. He moved on to create his second film, Replica, in 2005. He got a budget of $7,000 for that movie by selling his own car. Most of the films James has directed were written and produced by himself. James told ABC that Birdemic had a budget of about $10,000, again, all self-funded.
It was a little less than $10,000.
That money went to the gear, the actors, and the effects. James bought most of the cars for the film. He bought the van that the cast drives for $300, while actor Alan Bogg rented the car that his character Rod drives.
Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid.
If you've never seen the movie, I'll let I Hate Everything describe it for you.
At just over an hour and 30 minutes, Birdemic breaks new ground in how not to make a movie.
It's awful. It's awful. Right off the bat, this film loves to waste time. It feels like a lot of the scene's sole purpose is to extend the runtime to meet feature film status, which I could be wrong, because without the 4 minutes of the driving and title sequence in the beginning, the awkward 5-second thumbs up,
"Ooh, that's my girl!"
and the 40 seconds of whatever the fuck this sequence is, the film probably could have hit that 80-minute mark that has been set by SAG as the official minimum for a feature film. Dude, I don't know, there's a lot of instances of wasting time. It's either just bad editing or intentional time wasting. I would love to see an actual cut of the film where the editor doesn't waste time or actually knows what he's doing. If there's an editor out there who wants to cut the film down to prove that the film could be sub-feature film status, I'll feature your demo reel on my website. While on the topic of editing, Nguyen originally told the cast that he would be hiring a professional editor to make the bird effects, but eventually he discovered that the cost was going to be too expensive. He ended up just doing it himself on his personal computer. The film was edited on Adobe Premiere Pro. James has been telling people that he ended up hiring a student from the Academy of Art University in San Francisco, but who knows where he actually got them from.
It's a 3D animated birds, and I hire a student from Academy of Art out of San Francisco, the animators.
I found some very similar green screen CG eagles on a stock footage site. Vice touched a bit on James's process, and his weren't green screen, so I'm not sure where he got them from.
I think those eagles and vulture look pretty realistic.
The film is shot on a Sony HVR Z1U, that's a camcorder. The camera sports a Zeiss 4.5 to 54mm f1.6 to f2.4 lens with 12 times optical zoom. The Sony is a 3 CCD camera, which means that it uses 3 CCD sensors to create an image. It's kind of like Technicolor, where each sensor is behind a red, green, or blue filter. Well, it's actually a beam splitter, kind of like this one. In this camera, there are 1/3 sensors, which is about the same size sensor that exists in most smartphones. Now, this is a very capable camera. I'm not saying it's the reason the film looks bad. I'm a firm believer in the notion that you don't need expensive gear to make your project look good. It was just in bad hands. The film took 4 years to produce. With no permits for the filming locations, everything had to be discussed prior with owners or just filmed using guerrilla tactics. Because of this, lighting continuity is almost non-existent. Some people say that good cinematographers and DPs paint a picture with every frame, so that if you pause a movie randomly, look at the frame and think, yeah, I'd hang that up on the wall, then the cinematographer or DP has done a good job. Let's try that with Birdemic. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of these. Do you think there's any thought into this frame? No. What about this one? Background is blown out, subjects are underexposed, but hey, there's the rule of thirds. The horizon isn't even straight. Fuck it. I'd hang that on my wall. Look, I'm being nice here, but a lot of the movie has a lot of parts where places are blown out, it's overexposed, there's no purposeful framing, the 180 rule is broken in multiple spots. It's bad, it looks bad. The acting is bad too, right?
I closed a big job offer today with Victoria's Secret.
Wow, congratulations. I think you'll look great in those lingerie.
Thanks.
It's awful. It's forced, dialogue sucks. No. Everyone is quick to blame the actors. Fuck that. There's no such thing as bad actors, only bad directors. Firstly, the script is clunky. If you watch Vice's piece about the movie, about 13 minutes in, Whitney Moore gives an honest interview about her experience playing the role of Natalie. I honestly feel bad for them. Like, their performances sucked because James basically told them to suck. He wouldn't let them adapt their lines. He then ruined the pacing in the edit, maybe unintentionally, but he added awkward pauses, destroyed any flow that the actors may have actually had on set. And it's on him. The sound? Okay, look. If your audio is bad, your film is bad. Many filmmakers, including myself, when starting out, neglect audio in their films. Don't forget that audio is 50% of your film. There's a ton of ways to fix bad audio. I know a lot of other people love to point out this scene, but take a listen.
Hi.
Here's the menu.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with you.
The scene looks like a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas cutscene. But listen, that could have easily been fixed with ADR, ambient sounds, and Walla. Now, listen to this. The plane sounds genuinely funny. If it wasn't for the high-pitched cricket noises and the sound cuts, I would have thought that the sound designer, John Cregan, was self-aware at how bad the film was. Oh yeah, and then there's the little-known fact that James made up some of the credits to make this movie seem more official, so who the hell knows who actually did what on this movie? Let's analyze the rest of the shot from an audio standpoint. If we isolate the main sounds using a spectral analyzer, you can hear that these are actually cricket noises. I was just kidding when I said that earlier, but it looks like I was spot on. This is pitched down cricket noises, and this is even more pitched down cricket noises. To prove that, I isolated the sound of the crickets and did exactly what I thought that he did. Yeah, I thought it was birds with cricket noises, but no, it's just crickets. I'm actually impressed that it worked. You know, it sounds far, far worse and probably took slightly more time to achieve than actually finding a stock sound effect of birds, or Lord forbid, maybe even recording a wild track somewhere, but you know, it did its job. The score isn't awful, but it definitely doesn't fit. From what I found, the music came from a stock music library and also from Richard Band, who is a composer who probably just licensed out his music. I'm pretty tired of talking about this movie now, so I'm just gonna move on. After submitting the film to multiple film festivals, James was unable to get the film entered into anything. I wonder why. So, 2009, he rented out a local bar near the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah to show his film. He then handed out flyers from his van that was covered in fake blood and stuffed birds. He had paper signs taped to his car, some misspelling the name of his own film. The movie became wildly popular after Severin Films picked it up, and the rest is history. Vice covered this part of the story pretty well, so I'm not going to repeat it too much. Birdemic received a sequel, Birdemic 2: The Resurrection, in 2013. It was funded by fans of the original. The plot is aimed more at self-references to the first film and making fun of its reviews and reception. Many of the complaints about the film is that it becomes more intentionally bad, almost selling out, versus the original's unintended badness. A third sequel was on its way,
Birdemic 3 Sea Eagle.
However, that film was unable to find funding, with it getting less than $600 of its asking $500,000. Oh my god. $500,000? Birdemic lives on as a cult hit. Some view it as pure artistic intent, what one man can do with no training and no skill, but pure dedication, while others see it as the worst film ever made. And yeah, that's our breakdown. A lot of this is subjective, so please take everything with a grain of salt. But what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, legit, I'm one man, I miss details. If you have any suggestions for future breakdowns or any topics about future movies that you would like for us to cover in the future, let us know. We might just do it. But that's all I have for now, so I'll see you later.